I thought that women were oppressed, but you see me clearly in hijab that I chose on my own right after reverting. I just thought that that was something that was forced upon them. That's partly probably because of the media around us and things like that, and just where we live, really. Seeing people praising Allah in really hard moments was just very amazing to me and inspiring to me. And then just the oneness, worshiping Allah alone, stood out to me and made sense to me. So that really drew me in as well. I really don't know how to explain it. I feel like I've had a cover lifted off of my eyes and that I see the truth. You know, after 28 years of my life, I finally understand the truth and I feel so blessed, so humble. I feel very small and but feel so just empowered and strong through Allah. Like I feel like I can do anything with him by my side is really how I feel.
The following is a conversation with Dajana from Texas. Raised in a Methodist church, Dajana stepped away from practicing Christianity at the age of 16 after some of her questions went unanswered. She still maintained her belief in the Christian understanding of God. Years later, after marrying a Muslim man and becoming pregnant, she began exploring Islam more deeply. Through that research, she recognized the truth in Islam and decided to embrace it. In this interview, she shares how her understanding of Islam evolved, what led her to accept it, and how it has impacted her life.
Yes, so I'm from Texas and the main religion in this area is mostly Christianity.
Please tell us a little bit about your background before converting to Islam.
Yeah, so I was raised in the Methodist church, kind of in and out of church as a young child. And then when I got into middle school and high school, I was more frequently in the church and then got really involved, was kind of part of the music program there and in the youth group. And so by the time I got to high school, I actually had stopped practicing my faith around the age of 16. I just kind of drew away from the church and had some questions that probably weren't answered, and I wasn't asking anybody for help. So at that point, I just kind of stopped practicing.
Was there a specific event or a person that led you to start learning about Islam?
Yes. So my husband married me as a Christian, and I obviously knew he was Muslim. I had no problem with that whatsoever, just because of his character. So for 6 years, I've been exposed to Islam. But when we got pregnant with my son, I knew that he'd be brought up Muslim. I had no problem with this, but I figured it's probably time to actually start diving deep and researching more about Islam, of course, because I wanted to help my child grow and just nurture him in the faith. And so at that point, I think I had realized that maybe my faith wasn't as strong or my religion wasn't as strong as I thought it was. And so I started learning more about Islam.
Do you have any misconceptions about Islam?
Yeah, I think that's interesting, actually. I've seen a lot of other reverts talk about this as well. I thought that women were oppressed, but you see me clearly in hijab that I chose on my own right after reverting. I just thought that that was something that was forced upon them. That's partly probably because of the media around us and things like that, and just where we live, really. There's a lot of misconceptions. The violence of the religion was another thing that maybe I thought could have been true, but then keep in mind, my husband wasn't giving me any of it, just didn't add up for me. So these misconceptions were pretty quickly put to bed once I got with him. But of course, they were still in the back of my mind. So
Mm. What were some of the key factors that led you to convert to Islam?
um, really watching other people in the faith, how they dealt with hard times was very intriguing to me. I just felt like I didn't grow up with that. And seeing people praising Allah in really hard moments was just very amazing to me and inspiring to me. And then just the oneness, worshiping Allah alone, stood out to me and made sense to me. So that really drew me in as well.
Where did you take your Shahada, and what was that experience like?
It was very intimate. I just took it during Ramadan when I decided, you know what, I 100% believe this to be the truth and I want to revert. And it was just me and my husband in my living room, um, right with Fajr prayer. We just did it right there and it was really nice. I still would like to go to the mosque, but I don't know how. I don't know if it's too late, but 100% I'm a Muslim in my heart. So I just decided to do it at home right then.
What aspects of Islam resonated with you the most?
Mm, so many things. Actively praying, 5 times a day, that is so different than anything that I've had before. I had a huge disconnect with prayer. It's kind of a free for all. You just kind of pray whenever you want, and nobody's going to really teach you. So, actively praying and the discipline that comes with it, I love that. I think it really keeps me close to Allah throughout the day. Same thing with wearing hijab. It makes me just feel so much closer to Him. And when I'm out in the world, keeping me and keeping it in my mind that I am a Muslim woman and hold myself to a certain set of standards and character and just trying to be the best person I can be.
Mhm. Did you find any particular verse of the Holy Quran or Hadith especially impactful?
Yes, I would say by the time I got to Surah 2, Al Baqarah, I was in tears. And um, I don't even know specifically the verse. I do have one that I could share with you, but at that point, I was crying all night. And I think just crying happy tears, just alhamdulillah, like that I was guided is how I felt. But Surah 2, ayat 6 and 7, that says, as for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not. They will never believe. God has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. That stood out to me because just I feel that that is couldn't be closer to the truth because for years, if I would have discussions with my husband about religion, the things that I believed, like I would just argue with him for the sake of trying to be right. And he would have maybe valid points and knowledge and research to try to extend to me. And my heart was sealed. I did not want to have that. And it's so true that when Allah guides you, it felt like it all came off of me. I was just so ready to hear the truth. So that stood out to me for sure.
MashaAllah. How has your life changed since converting to Islam?
So many ways. Um, just obviously in my appearance, I was never this person before. And just the way that all day long, when I'm raising my kids, when I'm going out in places, I have Allah in mind all of the time. That is so different for me. Um, Before in my life, I was still a grateful person. I would thank God and things like that, but it was not like this. It was not the type of worshiping that I am doing with God now, and just constantly being aware of His presence in nature and things like that. Um, yeah, just I mean, obviously I look different too, which I love. I don't think enough women speak about that. I do see it a lot on social media, but I'm kind of looking for that, right? About why they chose hijab and things like that. But I feel like dressing modestly is so much bigger and more special, and protecting yourself in a way that a lot of people just don't understand.
Mhm. What do you think born Muslims should know about rivers to Islam?
I would say that, let's see, that's a deep question. That leaving, if you were a Christian or any other faith, choosing to leave where you came from and the viewpoints that you held with your family, with your friends, um, choosing to leave that is very hard. And so I would just extend to born Muslims that just understand that some of the reverts, if their intentions are right, really take it serious, and sometimes might have to do almost more research or have to go out and find it themselves just because they're going to be questioned by family and friends for sure.
What advice would you give to someone considering converting to Islam?
I would say researching and trying to learn the truth is very important, but also not being afraid to read your own book, and picking up a Quran and reading it, because that is one of the places that I really dove into, but also asking for help from people that are knowledgeable in the community that could help you. There's plenty of people at the mosque that could help you. But yeah, just I also learned a lot just reading my own book. And that might be the case for other people that are reverting, that maybe they don't actually know what, what all is in the book that they were reading before. So dive into that and read.
Great advice. Looking back, how do you feel about your journey to Islam now?
Alhamdulillah, I just feel so awake. I really don't know how to explain it. I feel like I've had a cover lifted off of my eyes, and that I see the truth. After 28 years of my life, I finally understand the truth, and I feel so blessed, so humble. I feel very small, and but feel so just empowered and strong through Allah. Like I feel like I can do anything with Him by my side is really how I feel.
Mashallah. Feeling small is always good. Arrogance is the problem.
Right.
Sister Diana, I want to thank you for being my guest, and it was truly a pleasure to have you here.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know has a story of embracing Islam, we'd love to hear it. Your journey could inspire and uplift others. Feel free to reach out to share your story on this channel. Let's continue to celebrate the beauty of faith in the diversity of our experiences. Please share this video and don't forget to subscribe for more meaningful content. See you in the next one, inshallah.